champion. So I'm busy trying to fix my mic back. I got too excited about the leopards on the road. Sorry, everybody. How cool is this? Look. And it's my favorite two leopards as well. It looks like Thandi and Thamba, which is so cool. How exciting is this? This is very exciting. There we go. Let me just tell the guys that I found them quickly, because people are looking for them. But there goes Thandi. Thamba just cut off to the left. He's just walking in the sort of grass itself. But there we go. How cool is this? The station's located, Thandi and Thamba mobile, straight east, west on Gari Main towards Chitwa Old Driveway. So my hunch paid off. I thought maybe just to come this side would be better, just to try and see if we can't see them on Gari Main. I was told that they were kind of inside the Mulawanini, but we're quite far. We're actually very close to Chitwa Old Driveway, and here's little Thamba looking up into the tree. I think he thinks Mom's going to take him to food, because every tree that he's going past, he's looking ever so longingly as if there's a carcass that could be there. Now somebody's just calling. Go ahead, Ralph. Ralph there on Gari Main, just walking parallel with Gari Main inside Chitwa, mobile in a westerly direction towards Chitwa Old Driveway. Ralph, just myself and Jamie coming to join. I think just check on the Eastern Channel if there isn't anybody else making their way. But they seem to be walking, and now Ferg said he spotted some warthogs down the road. I wonder if she's not seen them as well. Look how they're watching these. So let's see now quickly if we can't just get round here. It seems like they might be going back towards the road. I wonder if they didn't see those warthogs in the distance and have just cut into this little thicket just so that they can hide themselves. There's little Thamba up in the tree watching Mom striding away, and always full of games, little Thamba. Look at the size of his paws. Now hopefully he stays there. Oh no, he's put his paw down, but hopefully he stays there because they are massive. Now the guy's just driven right past us. Where are you two off to? I wonder if she's not going to go back to Djuma. It will be so cool if she goes to Djuma and has a carcass there. It will make my day. Imagine if we've got the Nkahumas on a kill and then Thandi and Thamba on top of that on Djuma. It will really be the most epic morning. And I reckon this has got to be one rank as one of the best mornings I've had on Safari Live. We've got lions on a kill, 2 leopards, Ali with the wild dogs, James with cheetah. It doesn't get much better than that. We also, Ali had elephants, so it's been an epic morning, that's for sure. Hey guys. Now let's see where they go from there. I wonder if they're not going to go drink. There is a pan coming up in front, and imagine if we can get the 2 of them drinking together. That's not going to work. That's a bit of a bigger stump than I thought it would be. Let's try go around that. Yes, there is quite a large stump there. That wouldn't have worked at all. Sorry, Ferg, if I'm bouncing you around in the back. I reckon Byron chose a bad morning to sleep in. What do you think, Ferg? So there's quite a funny story about this, because yesterday afternoon, Byron was saying to me, he's like, no, you know, because he was supposed to be off yesterday afternoon, and he was saying to me, no, you can be off in the afternoon. I'll just, you know, go off in the morning. You know, hopefully it'll be, you know, quiet and I can have a good rest. And well, Byron, you chose a bad morning to sleep in, I'm afraid. It's been pretty epic out here, so hopefully it will continue this afternoon, because Byron, of all people, deserves to have a bit more luck. So James Hendry is saying to me that Byron is filled with bad choices. Well, James, you would know better than I would, but well, I'm going to go on your gotcha, since you do know a lot more about Byron than I do, so that it was quite funny. But I feel sorry for Byron. He's really had a tough time this week. He's followed so many tracks and tried so hard to find some of these cats, and they just really haven't been cooperating with him. So, for him, I really hope this afternoon is an afternoon filled with wildlife for him, and that he gets lots of sightings of all of the cats that we get here. But there we go. Look at this. This is so cool. I'm always so happy when I see these two. And they're going straight towards the water. Hopefully Thamba will go across, and then we can go and position ourselves that we get a really nice view of the two of them drinking. There's something about watching a leopard drink that for me is just the best thing in the world. I don't know why. I suppose it's the photography side of it, is that getting photos of leopards drinking when they're kind of looking at you, and that reflection of them in the water is just so, so cool. Now they are going to drink. Let's quickly just get around here. Hold on, here we go. Now let's hope that they're going to stop on that side and drink on that side. Fergo, you ready for the money shot? You're hoping. There we go, there's one down. Let's see if both are going. There we go. How cool is that? That is so cool. So we've got both of them. There's Thandi on the left and Thamba on the right. Now you can see, have I got that right? Yes, I do have that right. But there we go. That is as good as it gets. We've got reflections, two leopards drinking. Like I say, it really is as good as it could ever be to see it like that. Wow. Now you can see how thirsty they are. Little Thamba drinking away. Isn't he got the most striking markings around his face? I just always find that he's such a dark leopard. He's got these dark black markings under his eyes, which is quite unusual. So he really is one of the most strikingly beautiful leopards we have out here. And now, if you watch when he drinks, drinking with a cat is a very interesting process. Everyone always thinks that they put their tongue in and scoop their tongue forward and make like a bucket and suck water up. That's actually not how it works. With a leopard and lions and the other cats, when they drink, they have these very hooked tongues with these fine hairs all over them. And so what they do is they put their tongue in the water, and as they lift, that will cause surface tension, and the water actually grips on that sort of rough tongue, and as it comes up they then close the mouth underneath it very quickly, and that's how they get water in. And that's why it takes them a long time to get a significant amount of water, is because of the fact that they have to sort of take little bits in at a time. This is so cool. I wonder where they're going to go from here. Hopefully from here it's straight to Djuma, and that's where we end up going. This is very cool. Hello, Thandi. She is still one of my favorites by a long shot. I've spent so many great moments with her, and spent a lot of time following her and seeing her progress, and she just, for me, is just one of the most pretty females out here. What have you seen, girl? And she's starting to show that she's getting a little bit older now. She's got a sort of much different face. So when I first saw her, she had a younger, sort of rounder face, and it's getting a little bit more slender as she gets older, but still exquisite. Now we're going to stay with our cats and see where they go, and while we do that, let's go across to James Henry, who's got a massive herd of elephants to show all of you. So we're still with them, and they slowly but surely look like they're going to head into Djuma. They're about to cross the main road. There are some guys that have taken photos, so I don't want to ruin their shot as the leopards cross the road for them, so I'm just going to let them cross over, and once they've crossed over we'll continue to follow them a little bit better. But isn't this cool? Come on, Thandi, you got to come back to Djuma and spend some time this side. You can see she's just twitching her tail now. I wonder if she hasn't spotted these warthogs, because Ferg and I saw these warthogs run from here, and I think she may have spotted them. That's why that tail's starting to twitch. You can often tell a lot from a leopard's tail, and whether or not they've seen what's going on. Here we go. There they go across the road. So little Thamba is a little bit nervous of the car still, so he went kind of jumping across the road as the vehicles pile up. Unfortunately, on these main roads, it becomes a bit of a mess because of the amount of cars. We've got lots of private vehicles that use these to go in and out, so there's a couple of them that have arrived as well, which is not ideal. But there she goes. She's going to stride down the road, and we're going to try and see if we can't follow her. So just checking with able if I can go in front. I don't want to ruin his pictures that he's getting with his guests. So always good just to check with your fellow guides if everything is okay, if you can go through. Little Tumba's here on our right hand side. Hello, little boy. Come on, catch up with Mom. Looks like Thandi might come northwards, which is good. So I'm just rolling forward with Thamba. I don't want to sort of spook him in any way. He's already a little bit nervous with all the car activity, so just kind of slowly coasting along with him, letting him do his thing and go where he wants to go. Ultimately, we don't want to scare him in any way. We want him to get used to us, and sometimes when lots of cars are present, then this is what happens. Now, Thandi's given us what she thinks of this whole situation. She just squatted quickly on the road and deposited a rather nasty gift for whoever's driving there, because if that goes in your tires, it's not going to be a very pleasant experience at all. How are you guys doing? Thank you. So, Jane, you want to know how Tamba compares to Thandi's previous male cubs at the same age? Well, he's about the same as what WildEarthTV was. WildEarthTV was a similar sort of size. And there's a waterbuck in front. You see there's a waterbuck? Now, I'm sure the waterbuck has seen Thandi, but there's a waterbuck straight ahead that's busy watching Tamba. I don't know if it's actually seen Thandi itself. She's now stopped on the road because she's seen that waterbuck. So let's see how this plays out. Little Tamba's walking through, but he's about the same size, and I think Tamba is going to be one of those late bloomers. I don't think he's like Husana that grew very quickly early on. I think Tamba is going to be a little bit later in life. He's going to get bigger because his paws are massive, and I think he's going to grow into those paws, and he's already grown into his ears a little bit, but the paws themselves he's going to grow into. Now look, Thandi's cutting into the grass now, and Tamba's now seen Thandi as well as the waterbuck. Isn't that cool? Ferg, that's awesome. Well done. This is as good as it gets. Wow. Very, very cool. Now let's see what happens. I'm sure these waterbuck have seen these leopards. They're staring. They haven't made a noise yet. And we know with Thandi, she likes to catch big animals, so this is not exactly beyond the realms of possibility. Most other leopards would just leave a waterbuck to carry on. But with Thandi, this is not the realms of, beyond realms of possibility and where she can go. Look at her running in there. She's interesting to watch when she hunts because she often uses the long grass. And you see what she's done? She's gotten onto the road and she's using the long grass to try and cut through. There we go. Look, there she goes. I wonder if there's not a baby there that she's trying to go after. No, she's going after the... That's crazy. So she went after the impalas and the baby waterbuck, which ran across the road, and she's gone further north into this area. So let's see if we can't find her. She ran northwards, so I'm going to try and just quickly punch a hole into the other side here, because there's a little road on the other side. There's Tamba in front of me. Hey boy, it's okay. So he's listening for Mom. He's trying to hope that Mom has caught something. And I wonder, there's lots of alarm calling in front here. I wonder if his mom didn't grab something. If she did, she'll soon call, and you'll find this leopard will go straight, little Tamba will go straight to where Thandi is. Isn't this exciting? What a morning we've had. Wow. And they come on to Djuma, which is even better news for all of us. There goes little Tamba. Sorry boy, I don't want to drive too much behind you. I want to get around you. But I don't know where Thandi is. I think Thandi is somewhere here on my left as well. She came bursting into this direction. And there she is. I can see her now. So she's not too far. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to go any further. I've got a tree here that when I push over, it's going to make a cracking sound. And that's going to cause Tamba to run, which I don't want to do. He's just on the other side of this little bush. And Thandi's there where the vehicles are. So when she starts coming in this direction, or he moves off, I'll go over the tree and we'll try to get a better view. But he's just behind there. It's amazing how well they camouflage. You can see his spots through the tree, but otherwise incredible camouflage that they exercise. A little bit to the right there. There we go. There you can see it, just inside there is little Thamba. His spotted pattern that just helps to break up the outline. Very, very cool indeed. Well, what an epic sighting we've just had of these two amazing spotted cats. And so while we try and follow them and try and find where Thandi's gone to, let's go back to Ali and see if she's had any more luck with the wild dogs. Well, it has been an adrenaline-filled sighting, that's for sure. And little Tumbler is now sitting on top of his mound, and he's just softly contact calling to Mom, just trying to work out where she's gone. Please come and find me again, and whether or not she actually managed to kill anything. So that's why he's making these little soft calls like that, just trying to see where she's gone and where Mom is, and hopefully she was successful that he could then get something to eat. But he's got to be one of the most exquisite looking animals I've ever seen. Just the colour of his eyes and the markings are absolutely amazing. And little pink nose still, which shows he's still a little bit younger. Now we know obviously that pink noses don't necessarily mean that it's a young animal, but you'll often find with young animals that their noses are a lot pinker than when they get a bit older. But there's your screenshot for those of you that wanted screenshots. That is it. Thamba saying hello to all of you and posing as best he can for all of you. There we go. Wow, that is special. For anybody out there that has ever sort of thought about or not really known what their favorite animal is or the beauty of wildlife, that picture right there, you cannot tell me ever that that is not one of the most beautiful things you could ever see. A leopard's coat is just the most magnificent thing, and to see them up on a mound like that and to be able to see views of their eyes and to see their ears twitching is just one of the most magical experiences. And I can't tell you just how amazing it is to sit in such close proximity to one of the most elusive predators of the world. They really are phenomenal animals, and it's such a special thing to be able to do this. And I really do wish that every single one of you that is watching can experience this at some stage in your life. So not only just through Safari Live, but at some stage, by some way, that you get to experience that proximity to one of these cats. It's a humbling experience to be a part of it and to be sitting here so close to one of the most iconic animals in the world. It's special. Don't you agree, folk?
I'm
very
speechless.
Yeah, speechless is a good word for it sometimes. So Travis, you say he's so photogenic. Well, I couldn't agree more, Travis. I think he's got to be one of the most photogenic leopards I've seen. And I can't wait to see this guy and follow his progress. And I hope that he becomes a dominant male in some area that we get to be able to follow his sort of movements and the progress that he has. And we get to be able to see him as a big dominant male, because I think he is going to be so striking when he reaches that 7 years old, and he's going to be big and bulky, and he's going to develop that bigger head. I reckon he's going to be flawless in his sort of older years, which is going to be amazing to see. So hopefully it's somewhere where we can follow his progress and see where he ends up, because as we know, these young males do end up moving into other areas, and I don't know if he's going to be able to spend too much longer in this area. That is so cool. So, Laurie, you say his ears are like satellites. Yes, unfortunately, he does have very large ears, but he's grown into them a lot. When we first started to see him, when James first saw him, James used to die with laughter because he used to say that the ears were just far too large for this cat's head, and he looked completely ridiculous. He has grown into them somewhat, and he will continue to grow into them as he gets bigger and older and his neck develops and his head develops, so those ears are going to start to get smaller in relation. But those big ears are vitally important for a leopard because they move around in thick, dense areas, much like kudu, nyala, all these other animals that end up having large ears. These guys are the same reason. They've got to be able to hear very well to detect prey animals ahead of them. So they use those ears, much like satellites, just to turn all the time to determine what is actually going on around them. Wow. Little Thamba, you are quite something. White Lady Earn, you want to say, should we do a one-word tweet for all of this? So you're saying, let's have a one-word tweet. Well, there we go. One word tweet as to what you think about, I don't know, about Thamba, or do we do Thandi and Thamba, or do we do just the morning in general? What do you think, Ferg?
Oh.
Tough one.
I don't think there's one word for this whole morning.
No, there's no one word for the whole morning, but let's do a one word tweet on the sheer beauty that is Thamba. What Thamba and this picture right there means to you guys at home. There we go, that's our one word tweet. For me, it's, I don't know what the word is. I think it's just speechless is a good one, Ferg. I'm going to steal yours. Hello, beautiful boy. Oh, that is phenomenal. You're going to be a lady slayer later in life, little Thamba. Yes, I'm talking about you. Look at that, he's looking straight at us. Isn't that amazing? That right there is the best thing in the world. When a leopard looks at you like that, for me it looks as though they look into the deepest part of your soul, and it's almost like they analyze every little bit of you and they work out exactly what you are, who you are, what's brought you into this place, and it's almost like they can work out what your character is by just staring at you. I don't know why I feel that way, but it feels like they're searching the deepest depths of your sort of brain and your being when they stare at you like that. Much the same as lions too. It's just a funny feeling when the two of them look at you dead on like that. And you can see breathing quite heavily, and that's because he was moving around quite a bit. So James Henry, you want to know what Hosana will be if Thamba is a lady slayer? Well, I don't know. Who knows, really? We'll have to think about this. I'm sure Hosana, in his own right, is going to also be a lady slayer, because he's another one of the beautiful young males that we have out here. And for sure, these two together are some of my favorite young males that I've ever spent time around. I really did enjoy spending time around Wabayizo when he was young, but there's been other young males that I really haven't sort of formed too much of an attachment to. But this one and Hosana, to me, are just, I don't know, there's something about the two of them. And also I suppose it's their backstories that they've got, and the way that they've kind of been a part of all of this has really sort of molded them as characters in our lives. But hopefully, either way, Thamba and Hosana won't have James Henry's track record when it comes to ladies, because that's going to be a bit dismal, according to Byron. Byron always tells me that James had a struggle until his later years, so hopefully these two will not be the same, and that they'll be on it straight away from when they're young, growing boys. Are you still waiting for Mum? So, Roshni, you say flawless. Well, indeed, because he's not going to look like that all his life. As male leopards go along, unfortunately, they're going to get scratches all over the face, going to get little pieces out of the ears, and so at the moment his ears are perfect, his face is perfect, he hasn't got any cuts or scrapes yet, and that means that he's in as good a condition as he'll ever be. Also, he's being fed by Mom, so he's nice and fat and plump and round. So he's going to have tougher times ahead when he leaves Mom. Although if we look at Hosana, Hosana's done so well to be able to stay as healthy as he has. Now, Marge, I didn't catch what you said. Sorry, I was talking too much. Megs, if you can just tell me again what Marge said for her one-word tweet. Breathtaking. Well, Marge, indeed, it is breathtaking. Like Ferg said, it becomes speechless. You just kind of have to stop and almost just take it in and absorb it, and he really is breathtakingly beautiful. I'll get it out eventually. I love how he just listens to everything that goes on around him and watches the world go by, just sees his vehicles going past and just kind of takes it in his stride. And it's amazing how much more relaxed he's become over the last few months. He started out when he was first born, when he had his sibling. They were quite skittish, the two of them. And over time, they've become so chilled, and that's because of the amount of time that we've been able to spend with them. The more he's been moving around now with Mom, and the more time they've been coming to sort of Djuma and spending time at Chitwa, the more time everyone's been able to spend with them. When they go into Torchwood, because of the density of the vehicles in Torchwood is so low, a lot of the time the leopards that grow up there tend to be quite skittish to start with. And so now that he's spending time where there's a little bit more sort of commercialization and more vehicles, so you've got a situation where he's now relaxing a lot more. Now, I believe Mom is lying down actually somewhere in front of us here. She's in that area, but Still waiting patiently, this little guy, for Mom to arrive. Somewhere in that thicket there, apparently, is where Mom is. Z, you say bedazzled? Indeed. He does have that ability to bedazzle one and to make you kind of feel as though you've been dazzled by sheer beauty. And to think that that's what we see in nature is just amazing to me. Right, well, I think we're going to carry on just admiring the view, really, because why not? It's a beautiful leopard on top of a termite mound. And while we do that, I believe James Hendry, who can tell us maybe what he thinks Hosanna will be, and has a beautiful view of his own.